Hi everyone! Right, so we're continuing on with the decimation of Gaige Grosskreutz on Cross.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you were asked, were you armed with a firearm, and you said that you were, right? Mr. Binger said, what do you bring? And you said, keys, wallet, whatever else, and a gun, right?
I did say that, yeah.
Kind of standard operating procedure for you out in the summer of 2020?
Not just the summer of 2020.
Oh, so you had carried your firearm at times previous to that?
That's correct.
And you're doing that for personal protection, correct?
Correct.
And you're carrying it concealed, are you not?
That is correct.
It's unlawful for you to carry it concealed. Is that not true?
Unlawful?
Yeah, you can't carry a concealed weapon without a CCW permit, right?
That is correct, yes.
You have to open carry. You have to have, we've been talking about people with their guns out. You have to carry it with it out if you don't have a CCW permit, right?
That is correct.
And you didn't have a CCW permit, did you?
I did have a CCW permit.
It wasn't valid, correct?
After the fact, yes, I found out that it was not valid.
So have you been charged for unlawfully carrying a firearm?
No, I have not.
So you're carrying a gun for protection in your, if I have it right, back here, right?
That is correct.
And I'm motioning into my kind of my belt area.
Correct.
Okay. Now, your first contact with Mr. Rittenhouse, I think you had testified that you believed that he said to you that he was going to the police, or that he was working with the police, right?
That is correct.
Well, on your statement on the 26th, which is the first statement you gave to law enforcement, right?
Correct.
You told law enforcement, I heard the guy say, quote, that he pulled the gun on me first, unquote, right?
That is correct.
So you never say to the police during your interview, he told me he was working with you guys. You never tell them that, do you?
That is correct.
So when you make contact with Mr. Rittenhouse, tell me if this is fair. And I'm not, Mr. Binger's asked witnesses to do this, so I'm going to ask you to do the same. You've probably watched videos, you've probably seen all this. I'm asking you to put yourself back there at that time, okay? You know shots are fired, right?
Correct.
Okay. And the only information that you have is Mr. Rittenhouse saying, according to you, he pulled the gun on me first, right?
Correct.
And based on that, you believe there's an active shooter.
Not solely on that, but yes.
You don't have any information, correct?
I had minimal information.
And in fact, what he says to you was, I'm going to the police, correct?
That is correct.
And he's running toward the police, isn't he?
That is correct.
Okay. So what you, and tell me if this is right, you have no idea what happened with Mr. Rosenbaum, do you?
Apart from, no.
I'm just,
No.
on that day.
Correct.
Okay. And he tells you, he's running, and he tells you, whatever he tells you, I'm going to the police, or what you think is, he pulled the gun first, and he's running away from you, right? He's running north on Sheridan Road. Yes?
Correct.
And he's running away from where you're standing. True?
Correct.
You at that point pull a firearm out from your belt and begin to chase him. True?
That is not true.
I want the picture. I'm going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 35. You take a peek at that for a second. That's a picture of you, is that right?
On the right-hand side with the blue cap, and yeah.
You can look there where
Yeah.
this is you, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you're digging into your waistband in the back, are you not?
Yes,
That's where your gun is located, is it not?
that is correct.
Okay. Do you see Kyle Rittenhouse in this picture?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So, if we can be fair here, this isn't him, right?
No, it is not.
And you don't believe that's him?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. And you'd agree none of these other people are him either?
I think that's a fair thing to say, yes.
Okay. What do you think, to the best of your ability, how far that guy's ahead of you?
It'd be hard to tell, but based on what I can see here, maybe 30 feet?
Okay. So you believe, based on this, Mr. Rittenhouse is more than 30 feet ahead of you because he's not behind that guy, right?
Yes.
So he's 30 feet, at least 30 feet ahead of you. You look like at that point you're moving. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So with him 30 feet ahead of you, running away from you, at that point you pull your firearm and begin to chase him, correct?
No.
You don't begin to chase him?
Nope. No, I do not.
You head in the direction that he's running. Yes?
Correct.
But you just happen to be running in that direction? It has nothing to do with Kyle Rittenhouse running in that direction?
No, it does have to do with the defendant running in that direction, yes.
Okay. So you are trying to chase him down?
No.
You can hear people yelling at that point, get him, get his ass, things like that, right?
That is correct, yes.
Did you hear, there's one that I've heard on this, and I don't know if you've heard it. Cranium that boy. Did you hear that?
I've heard it after the fact. In that moment, I do not recall hearing that, no.
Okay. But you acknowledge you hear get him and get his ass.
Correct, I do.
Okay. So, fair at that point, you believe those people are chasing him down.
Yes, I do.
And I'm going to use the word mob, you use whatever word you want. It's getting bigger as they're running, isn't it? More people are joining this.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
And you believe, well, tell me if this is true. You were concerned for Kyle Rittenhouse's safety.
Yes, I was.
You were concerned because you saw, and I'm going to refer to him as the only way we refer to him, jump kick man. So you see this guy kick him in the face. True?
I do not see Jump Kick Man kick him in the face.
You see him attempt to kick him in the face?
From my perspective, I didn't see any specific motion regarding kicking. But it is fair to say that I did observe Jump Kick Man going over the defendant.
Okay. And he's going, if you remember, he's going over the defendant with his foot in the air, correct?
I don't recall that.
You have a picture of And before I bring it up, to be fair, you're making up ground on Mr. Rittenhouse, correct? As you're running in his direction.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, you eventually catch him.
Correct.
Or come up to him, right?
Correct.
Okay. Turn around, or whichever you want to do. You see that going on, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if we're being honest with one another, he appears to be trying to kick him in the face, right?
In this photograph, yes.
Okay. How far away from this when it's going on are you?
I don't recall how far away I was exactly when this action occurred.
You're a matter of feet, right?
I think that's a fair thing to say.
Okay.
Close.
All right, and you're seeing this, so you are having some concern, maybe as a medic or while you're training, that Kyle Rittenhouse is in physical danger. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and you believe he's in physical danger because he's being attacked, right? That's fair.
It's a fair thing to say, yes.
Okay. So you see this, then you see, can you bring up the Huber picture, please? Then you see Mr. Then you know that's, you didn't know it then, but you know now that's Anthony Huber, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you saw this happening, right?
Correct.
And it was no more from me to you away probably at that point, true?
I don't recall, but that's probably
Like
fair.
ballpark?
Yes.
And in fact, you had mentioned to the officers that you even recalled Mr. Huber holding onto the trucks of that skateboard when he was striking you, right?
Correct.
And that, to be fair, as a medic, that concerned you, did it not?
I think anytime that there's a risk of head trauma, that it's a risk.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So, you believe in this picture, one of the reasons you wanted to intervene was you believe that Mr. Rittenhouse was in danger of being seriously hurt, right?
In part, yes.
And you had mentioned to the police that evening that you tried telling Mr. Huber, you just said the guy, but you tried telling the guy to stop hitting him with the skateboard. Is that right?
That is what I put in my statement, yes.
Is that true?
With the benefit of hindsight, I don't believe that to be true, no.
Okay, so when you told that to the police that you told the guy with the skateboard to stop hitting him, that's not correct. That's not true.
That is correct.
Now, your original statement then to the police was, I tried telling the guy to stop hitting him with the skateboard. The guy on the ground then turned over, racked the weapon, and pointed his gun at me and shot me, right?
That is correct, yes.
You omitted the fact that you ran up on him and had a Glock pistol in your hand, right? You left that out.
Correct.
Would you think in a case where you are shot that providing the police information that you were possessing a firearm at the time would be relevant?
I think that's fair, yes.
Okay. But you didn't think it was relevant to tell him that day, correct?
It's not that I didn't think it wasn't relevant. After the defendant had shot me, I had just gotten out of surgery when the Kenosha police officers had arrived and just gone through one of the most traumatic experiences in my life, both emotionally and physically. I'd just gotten out of surgery. Had just been sedated. I was on pain meds. So,
Go ahead, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
sorry. It wouldn't have been a purposeful omission.
You were asked at that same statement what you did for work and you refused to answer that, right?
That is correct.
So you made a conscious decision to not answer that.
That is correct.
You weren't so drugged that you couldn't answer that question, right?
I refused because I was worried for my safety.
My point is that you had a thoughtful process not to answer that. True?
That is correct.
You told this officer specifically what Mr. Rittenhouse was wearing, correct?
That is correct.
You had a thoughtful process, even though you just got out of surgery and were drugged and whatever else was going on, which I understand. you were still able to answer all those questions to the best of your ability, and they were accurate, right?
To the best of my ability, yes.
Okay. So the fact that you failed to mention that you possessed a firearm when you were shot and that you dropped it, were those things that you forgot because of your medication?
I would say not only the medication, but also the traumatic experience that I'd just gone through.
And you understand it's the only information that you appeared to have forgotten that puts you with a gun directly in front of him, right?
That is correct.
Now, you are also then interviewed again by law enforcement in September. Is that right?
That is correct.
You bring your lawyer.
Correct.
Mr. Binger's there?
Not in person.
Okay, but he's present in the...
He was attending the meeting, yes.
Okay. And there were three...
Sorry, he was present via Zoom.
Okay, and there were a total, if you remember, 3 prosecutors present, right?
The only 2 people who I were aware were their official capacity was the lead detective, Ben Antaramian, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and then Mr. Binger.
Okay.
But as for the other people, I'm sure they mentioned their names, but those were the 2 people that stuck out, I guess I should say.
So the people that you recall, Detective Antaramian, Mr. Binger, your lawyer, and you.
Correct.
And you were asked on that day, which would be, now that would be your second statement, you were asked about what had happened, right?
Correct.
And had you viewed some of the video between the shooting and the interview that you gave on, I think it was the 24th of September?
I can't say for sure, but I would say it's a very fair guess that I had at least seen something at that point, or by that point.
And in that interview, you don't answer any questions about the shooting, do you?
No, I do not.
This lead detective on a homicide case, where you are also shot, is trying to gather information to figure out exactly what went on, and you refuse to answer questions about that, right?
Specifically about the shooting?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Was that your decision or your lawyer's decision?
That was the advice that my counsel gave me.
So your counsel wouldn't let you answer questions about your involvement. True?
I wouldn't say that she wouldn't let me, but she advised against it.
So your statements about what actually happened, first time that we're getting an insight as to what actually happened is today, right?
I don't think that's accurate.
Well, on the 24th, you refused to answer questions, right?
The 24th of...
September.
Correct.
And the day after the incident, you acknowledge you left out the fact that you even had a gun, right?
That is correct.
You were asked, Mr. Binger asked you about this, you were asked for permission to look through your phone, right?
I do recall that, yes.
You never actually gave your phone to Detective Antaramian to look through, did you?
My phone was picked up off the street the night of the 25th. So, no, I didn't give my phone to anybody. Somebody, and I'm assuming a police officer had picked it up.
My question to you, that wasn't my question to you. My question to you was, Detective Antaramian asked you for permission to look through your phone, and you never gave him your phone. True?
I never gave him permission to look through my phone, no.
Are you aware that he had a search warrant for your phone?
No, I was not.
So, if I can, Mr. Grosskreutz, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the video. Okay? Are we good on time?
I haven't been notified that the lunch is here, but
I gotta pop up with a leaving message.
you heard what?
15, 20 minutes, I sent you.
From now?
Yes, from noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Well, are you fine with time?
You had asked for 12 to 1.
Right.
You are in the middle of an examination, so I'll hear from you guys as to what you want to do.
If it's not here, I'm fine. I'm ready to continue. I just didn't know if he had a problem.
I was hoping for an hour, whenever we
Okay. I'll give you an hour whenever we stop.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so just, I'm gonna have you stop it a lot. Okay, go ahead. Now, you see that? This isn't you, but you see this gentleman right here? See that?
I do.
Okay. He's,
Would you like Sister Marcian's pointer?
oh, sure.
It's up to you. You're welcome to use your glasses if you want.
He's got it.
Oh, he's got it.
You see this gentleman right here, right?
I do.
Okay, now you agree he advanced on what ran after, came up to Mr. Rittenhouse, right?
Can you rewind just slightly?
Can you just go, if you go back 10, but. Yep. So, you agree that he runs up to Mr. Rittenhouse and then applies the brakes, right?
I do.
Okay, and you'd agree that he's me to you away,
And that's a
Okay.
fair assessment, yes.
2-3 feet. He's advancing on Mr. Rittenhouse, and you'd agree, he puts his hands up, and Mr. Rittenhouse never fires his gun, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, you're off screen here at this point, right? You haven't come into the frame yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. That is, for lack of a better term, this gentleman right here. This is Jump Kick Man, right?
I believe so, yes.
So, you can play it. So, you now see that Jump Kick Man kicked Mr. Rittenhouse in the face, and 2 shots are fired, correct?
With this video, yes.
Okay. You hear that, right?
In the moment, yes, I did hear it.
Okay. Now, if you can see, and we'll play it, I'm not trying to trick you. This is Mr. Huber, correct?
It is hard to see with whatever is blocking.
Okay. Play it for a second. Okay, that's Mr. Huber, right?
That is correct, yes.
Now, this person here that's just coming into the frame, that's you.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And you are running, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Now, you had originally said that you wanted, you were going to tell Mr. Huber to stop beating him, but now you understand that you didn't say anything. You were just running, whatever word you want. You're moving towards Mr. Rittenhouse, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. We just heard a shot, yes?
Correct.
Okay. And to be fair, that you put on the brakes, right? You were running, you then almost stop in your tracks. Fair enough?
Correct.
Okay. And I don't know if your arms are up at that point, but it looks like you're kind of protecting your head at that point. Is that fair?
That is correct.
Okay. How far do you think you are away from him at that point, to the best of your ability?
I would say about there, between
Me and you?
you and I, correct.
So, 3 feet?
3 to 5.
Okay. Now, at that point, you have your hands up, right?
Yes, I do.
Now, you probably don't notice him at the time, but this guy's holding up what looks like a wooden club of some type?
Some sort of wooden object, yes.
Okay. So your hands are up, and at that point, he has not fired at you, correct?
No, he is not.
Okay. It's going to be quick. You would agree at this point, you are dropping your hands, you are loading your front foot, and you are moving toward Mr. Rittenhouse at that point, true?
Yes.
Okay. So, when you were shot, can you bring up the photo? You'd agree, and now wait, how close do you think you are to him at that point?
3 feet. If it was 5 feet before, it would. So,
Tell me if I've got the lay of the land. At this point, you're holding a loaded, chambered Glock 27 in your right hand. Yes?
that is correct, yes.
You are advancing on Mr. Rittenhouse, who is seated on his butt, right?
That is correct.
You're moving forward, and your right hand drops down with your gun. Your hands are no longer up, and now the gun is pointed in the direction of Mr. Rittenhouse. Agree? I'll give you a picture. Maybe that'll help. What? What's the next one?
These been marked as exhibits.
He's hacked it, that's what I was.
Oh. So, Mr. Grosskreutz, I'm going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 67. That's a photo of you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. That's Mr. Rittenhouse?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you'd agree your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, that's when he fires his gun. Yes?
No.
Sir, look, I don't want to. Does this look like right now your arm is being shot?
That looks like my bicep being vaporized, yes.
Okay. And it's being vaporized as you're pointing your gun directly at him. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
You had mentioned that
Hang on if I can say. Look at this guy!
And look at finger also. Both of them are like,
Well, because that was it.
yeah.
That was it. That's all. That's the question that needed to be answered. That's literally self-defense. He only shot at you when you had taken your gun out and you're pointing at him. Correct. Correct. Done. Finished. That's one done. Now it's the other two.
Yeah.
But it's just it's the. I'm sorry, I had to. I'm so sorry.
And Binger is
he's just like,
morning he's
his
his new suit he was
yeah.
ordering.
It's like, there goes my raise. And this guy, I wish we went for lunch. Maybe we could have coached him a bit better.
Yeah.
Ah, that's nice. That's great. Back to it anyway.
Now, you had mentioned that you believe that he was re-racking. I don't know much about guns, but you had mentioned that you believed he was re-racking his gun or something, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now, this is your. Tell me if this is right. This is your tweet from November 5th. So, during this trial, you're tweeting out, yes?
Yes.
And you tweet out to whoever these people are. Make sure you look and listen for the defendant's firearm malfunction, and then you have a winky emoji face. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So this is the 5th was yesterday?
That would have been Friday.
Time's flying, Judge. So Friday at 7:45, and what's the winky emoji face for?
I believe that was in response to whoever the original poster is on there. I don't know what the original post was, but it was more than likely in response to this person's opinion that they had posted.
Now, you had said that you were looking for a non-lethal way to end this interaction.
That is correct, yes.
Yet you pulled your gun out and began, I'm going to use the word chase. You began chasing or running after a man who was running away from you, correct?
That is correct.
Now, you had said, and you were asked about the do no harm and the tattoo on your arm and things like that, right? You have some regrets from that evening, don't you?
No.
Well, Jacob Marshall's your roommate, isn't he?
No, he's not.
He was your roommate, correct?
He was, yes.
Okay. And Jacob Marshall came to visit you in the hospital. Is that right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And I know he's taken it down, but not before we saw it. He posted something on either Twitter or Facebook with you, right?
Correct.
Do you remember that?
Remember what?
The picture that you guys took in the hospital together?
Yes, I do.
We haven't gotten to it yet, Your Honor, but I'm going to be objecting on hearsay grounds, yeah.
Just the copies of you before this was all.
We need to talk about this. So maybe we should. I assume you have more questions beyond this.
Not a ton, but we should probably get this cleared up.
Yeah, we might as well. Let's take a break. Please don't talk about the case during the break. I assume your lunch will be here shortly. Don't read, watch, or listen to any account of the trial. Okay, see you in a little bit. why isn't this hearsay? Well, we'll start there.
Judge, I believe I can ask Mr. Grosskreutz if he said it. That's not hearsay. Did you say this to Mr. Marshall? I'm not asking.
Sorry. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
He can deny it, right? And then I can call Mr. Marshall, which he was in court. Now he's under subpoena.
Oh, he's here.
Well, he left.
Where is he?
I don't know. He was sitting in court. He got served with a subpoena, and he is gone.
Well, let's find out right now whether he's here, because if he isn't here and he was served with a subpoena to appear when?
Wednesday.
Yeah, not till Wednesday.
Okay.
He's going to be in our case in chief.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I believe I can ask a witness if they've made a statement. If that witness denies it, then I would call somebody to impeach that witness.
State?
I agree with everything, but what was being marked there was a Facebook post from Jacob Marshall. And that's my objection. Jacob Marshall's Facebook post is hearsay. They can call him to testify.
He's not asking to offer the exhibit, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. He wants to ask him about the content.
That, as far as that goes, Your Honor, that's fine. I anticipated the exhibit was about to be used since it was in the process of being marked, and that's why I said, Your Honor, I'm going to be objecting on hearsay grounds, because the exhibit is hearsay.
So, Judge, I'm going to ask him if he's in this picture, which he is, and if that's Mr. Marshall in the picture, which I believe it is. I'm not going to, at this point, I'm not going to ask that the jury see it, but I'm going to ask him about the content of it. And then based on his answer, I'm going to call Mr. Marshall to testify if he denies it.
Certainly the inquiring about a statement allegedly made by the witness would not be hearsay. But there certainly is a coiled snake of potential hearsay, so we have to be careful.
I'm not going to... I think it's appropriate that he acknowledges that he's in the picture, and then I'm not going to do anything else with it other than to ask him the question.
Excellent. What more could I
As long as the jury doesn't see that post right now, that's my concern, because that's hearsay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do it. So, okay, thank you. What time would you like to start, Judge?
1:15, please.
Thank you.
Right.
For a while there, he turned more white than me, and I'm Scandinavian. I'm white as fuck.
It just... It's like he rolled over and died. It just was getting worse and worse.
Jesus.
It was getting so bad. You best hope he's never a police officer, because Jesus Christ, they'd rename the Brady list to the Gaige list.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
I've never seen one turning that white. And still be alive.
I can't. It's so bad. It is so bad. There's bad, and then there's this.
This was.
Not only was it bad, it was embarrassing.
I still stand by words in the previous video.
Yeah.
He's worse liar than the third.
It's just so bad. It's so bad. I can't describe it as anything else. It's so bad. It's just so bad. I mean, it's great for Kyle, bad for Gaige.
Oh yeah. When he realized it was over, he just rolled over.
Oh yeah. Like the whole thing where for ages, he wouldn't admit that he was chasing him. And then it was just like, I'm going to use the word chase, you were chasing the defendant. Yes. Like, he literally, I don't know this, but I'm wondering if maybe he got a signal from his lawyer to just, like, stop with the fucking bullshit. I think he also probably realised that his lawsuit for $10 million fucking dollars was out of the window.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad and embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Christ. I don't feel bad for him at all. Absolutely not.
Oh, it's almost made me feel bad for Binger's team there for a while.
Wait, what did you say?
Almost you felt bad for Binger's team there for a while.
It's Binger though, I don't really feel bad for Binger.
They look like I probably should have changed jobs.
They're just like, well, I'm going to get my CV up and running. There's no other words I can describe it as. It's so bad.
That was bad.
It was bad indeed. Yeah, should we? We've got the last part for the next time.
Yes.
Yes. Leave a comment if you have a comment. Leave a like if you have a like. Leave a dislike if you want. Subscribe if you want. Thank you for watching this far if you have. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Either way, enjoy whatever you do. And stay hydrated. Moisturize. Don't eat yellow snow.
And don't let the seagull cook your food.
They can cook food?
No.
Oh, well, that would be a good point, though. What about sushi?
No. They eat garbage. They don't know what sushi is anymore.
Okay. Well, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.